So as I mentioned, Andrew, I consider a social entrepreneur and a single mom. And I love being an entrepreneur, but also making impact in people's life. In this presentation, this is going to be very practical and useful for you. So right now, the first things that I ask you is to take pen and paper, because we are going to do through different things and questions here. And I expect that you evaluate what sources do you have available right now, financially speaking, that you have the opportunity in this presentation to do a quick re-evaluation about your expenses, to create a reasonable, a realistic budget with some questions that I will encourage to you. Tools to control your expenses, savings, look for an extra income if you need, and also we are going to talk about the time management. So let's start with these questions. I want that you ask yourself with these basic questions about what resources are available for you. What I'm sharing these questions is exactly that you go and you answer. You have here 5 options. If you tell me, Yurani, I have a saving account, I can pay my living expenses, I have investments, I have business, or I have a salary. So select which of them you have right now as a resources for you and your family. In my case, I have the 1, the 2, and 4, and 5. So I don't have investment yet, or let's say that yes, I have a house. So start asking, answer these questions for you. This is the first when you are to make changes, drastic changes in your financial situation, and go for a healthy finance. The second question is that with all of these that I mentioned before, you have 5 options if you can support yourself with the salary that you receive right now. This is very important. Maybe yes, maybe no. If it is a yes answer, I recommend here that if you can keep that for a period of time, but this specifically for savings, and that you put that categories. I mentioned that you put name and last name of your savings, right? But if the answer is no, my salary is not enough, and I had that situation, so that you start consider, I need a new job, or maybe I need an extra job, a part-time, seasonal, weekends, or a side business. And here I want to share that as an entrepreneur, single parents are recognized to be entrepreneurs, very native, that we are very creative, we do multitasking. So this is a very normal and general that we are entrepreneurs. After that, because we are going to different steps to evaluate your finance, if you consider that you need that extra income that or not, this is a time that you reevaluate your expenses. And I put here the most general expenses that a family have, but maybe each family is different. And also you have different priorities, so that you go to this, and this is very general, evaluate your food. What is your expenses in food? Your house, start asking questions. Do I need a big house? Can I move to a small apartment and pay a low rent or a low mortgage? Education is a priority for you. Do you want your kids in a public school or in a private school? Childcare. So start evaluating each category, each expensive category, and start finding ways how you can save money. For example, in childcare, childcare is so expensive here. So you can share nanny, you can do part-time, or you can have support for a friend or a family in a temporary way so you can save money. In shopping, for example, start asking before you buy something. And I ask myself, how many hours of my job do I need to pay that or to buy something? This is very important. And you can go deeper in each category. For example, in the house, do I need 2 TVs in my house? Can I share laptops? Can I start, if you need to achieve a goal, to start doing drastic changes. For entertainment, when we are doing financial changes, most of the parents try to delete that. But when they ask me that, my first recommendation is no, you don't need to delete that, because you need that for mental health. But you can find ways to save money, or instead of going out for a dinner, you can do picnic, you can do simple things, but still entertaining yourself and your kids. This is the my recommendation when you evaluate your expenses. And then this is to create a budget. So when I here, you can find different systems. Right now, also everything is on an app. I think generally speaking, I can say that all the banks, they can provide you that, but this depends, and I related that with your personality. This is very important, what works for you. For example, in my case, I use, and I have here, writing. I don't use Excel. I try to do in an Excel to keep my budget, but it doesn't work for me. So I use apps, and either because when you are doing changes in your finance, you need to be to keep daily and weekly and monthly and yearly. So it's a system that works for you. So for me, every week I have here my my file, my binder. I write down and I check so that you have the best system that works for you. Also, you can integrate, right? And financially speaking, the most common are the envelope system, that you put like a budget ceiling in each category that we talked before. Has, for example, here for food, I'm gonna spend, and this is an example, 100 per month. And this is your budget ceiling, right? And you cannot go over that. This is very important. Another system is the cash system. So you pay everything on cash. So for that budget system, I do an integration. Sometimes I know what I'm gonna pay in cash. And in my case is the gas, the food, when I go out. And I try to keep that. So these are the most common, and I want that you figure it out which one works for you. Maybe you are more, you can keep the track paying everything in debit or credit card. That can work for you. So maybe you just need to pay the food with cash, and you can keep that, because once you identify the budget system, this is very key. How do you make sure you stick to your budget? I say 100 for food, right? 200 for education. I know what is my bills that I need to pay, but how can I not get over? And right? So the answer here, because parents ask me that, is your financial goals. When you have a financial goal, no matter what, you keep this 100 because you want to reach that vacation that you are dreaming, right? You want to reach that college for you or for your daughter, in my case. So that you develop that financial goal, keep it in a visible when you see it, right? In my case, when I do my budget monthly and when I review every week my expenses, I remember my financial goal. Okay, in 3 months, I gonna buy this. In 3 months, I gonna invest this. So this is the key to help you to track your budget and to stick on that budget. So this is again the budget systems. I mentioned the envelope and mentioned the cash. You have the apps, you have the Excel. Start thinking yourself which one can work for you, or maybe you can, because it's many gurus in financial so that which one you identify, right? That you can select, and then I remember that I follow one, but it doesn't work for me. So I create my own on all the people that I listen, the articles, when I went to university, everything. I combine my own one that works for me and my family. And you realize that when you reach that financial goal. So you don't need to select the best one. Maybe you just need to be comfortable which one works for you. That's my recommendation when you select the budget system. Here, to control your expenses, I learned, before I didn't plan anything. Now I learned to plan all many things, most of them, because you have unforeseen situations, but start planning. For example, how do you see yourself in 5 years, right? Right now I'm 36 years old, and I don't know, and how I see myself when I am turned 40, right? In the financial speaking, because when you see that goal, maybe in 10 years, 5 years, then you need to do the baby steps. And what are the baby steps? The baby steps is to create that budget annually, right? Then create monthly, and then track weekly. This is key. For example, in my case, Sundays, my daughter is not a morning person, but I am a morning person. Maybe for you, you are in the afternoon or during the nights, that you select a time for yourself to check out your expenses. And here, just with the phone, I just daily, I see, okay, I have in my account this, I spend this, and then weekly, I know, like the weekly report, if they charge this, if they don't. So this is very key to reach that goal that you see far away, that 10 years or 5 years, is every day, and you create an habit for to do it, right? And this is key that you start doing. So this is, I always put this cap in my presentation, so I know that you are paying attention, but it also say to you that I'm gonna talk about another important topic in this presentation, is to save. So usually, single parents struggle with finance. I did. And you think that you cannot save money because you have many bills to pay, you have many things going on. But my experience when I take control of my finance is that you can do it. You can do it, and you don't need to do a crazy, start crazy like, oh, I need to save like 100 per month. No, when you start, and this is based on my experience with $10 per month, right? I remember that I wanted to have car savings, right? And I start with that. I say, okay, I cannot do a goal for 1,000. I can do a goal for 500 one year and $10. And then I remember, and I did slow, very patient, because as a single parent, when other people reach the goal in 1 year, maybe in your case is the double because you don't have that extra support, but it doesn't seem impossible. You can do it. And in that case, when I did the savings for my car, I remember that I need to change the wheels. And I had that money. I didn't need to take from my salary to pay the new wheels because I had that savings. So that you start thinking on that save. Another thing that is very important is the life insurance. I need to say that you have to have save life insurance. Start thinking which company has the best price, the offer, but it gives you confidence, the savings, and also that is very important. So the daily savings, start asking yourself, because we have many ways to do it daily. Especially, I remember when I was doing my master, I didn't want to cook. I was very tired, right? And I started buying food, but say, no, I don't have money for that. So that you have to take a decision and make a decision and say, okay, I can save money of that. I'm gonna cook for 2-3 days, frozen. I also start asking, you have many things in the grocery that sometimes we don't use it, right? So what can I do? So this is kind of daily savings that I encourage, but based on your family, what daily savings. Another thing that works is to plan the grocery shopping, right? So the weekly, I need this, and this, and that's it. So this is baby steps, and that money, because we have a community, and the mom starts sharing that she's receiving right now the financial support from the government, and she's using that for a specific financial goal. So these daily savings, put it name and last name. Okay, I'm not gonna use this money. I'm not gonna buy more food. I'm not gonna go out because, I don't know, I'm going to Colombia and visit my family, or I'm gonna pay this credit card. And then you reach that goal. This is very important. The other question that is very common is how I can teach this to my kids. And the answer is you are the model, the role model for them. I ask that question myself too, and I say how, because I struggle at the beginning with financial situation. And how can I teach that? Because I'm struggling, right? But then I start, in my case, sharing the idea of the business, and little by little, you're gonna see that they involve and they start asking questions. In the grocery, I took my daughter with me, and I say, bring me avocado, or bring me, I don't know, wipes. And she just took any, and I say, but what is the price? What is better? This is organic, this is not. That kind of questions. And then they start asking themselves that questions. And in my case, I didn't see the the situation right away, right? So I was asking myself, maybe she knows, maybe she's learning what I'm telling her with that questions. And then after a few years, I remember that we went to the CVS, and we were in a rush, and I just want to buy there a birthday card. And I took just one. I said, it's $4, it's okay. And she said, no, this is better. This has music, this is cheaper. So because she learned. So don't worry, just take with you, take with them to the grocery, or maybe do laundry. So start involving in activities. Cooking also, this is another one that is very useful. Start involving, or the financial goals that I have. My daughter is gonna have 16 this December, and she wants to travel. This is a financial goal for me. So start sharing with them that kind of things. Or maybe you want to have a master, or maybe you have a new car. So start sharing with them that, and they will understand and they will support you. This is my recommendation. So if you already did that, because the key of this presentation is that you go to these different steps. So the first step is the resource that you have. If I need an extra income or not, evaluate your expenses, choose the system budget that you have, start going deeper to these steps and see in which one you and your family need to do financial drastic changes. Maybe it's a temporary, is for a period of time, is depending of your financial goal, but go and analyze all of these steps and see which one you need to take and make this decision. And also, if you think that is very drastical, the decision, talk to your kids and say, okay, this part-time, I remember that I have a part-time job, but I say I'm gonna pay this. So from 5 a.m. to 10 a.m., I have to work. And I talked to my daughter, okay, this is temporary, this is for 3 months, but I'm gonna be able to do this. So start going deeper to your financial and to your numbers, that you know, okay, I know when people start asking your question, what is your expenses, that you could say, okay, my expenses is this. In September, I'm gonna have this, because in some months you have more expensive than others. But when you plan annually, that you know, because this is gonna empower you, and you are gonna feel confidence with yourself. This is very important. This is another topic and valuable, that is the time and productivity management. So as a single parents, we are experts to do multitasking, right? And we have many hats, and always want to be productive, right? And be able to manage our time. So here, sometimes this multitasking as a single parents could be or not a problem. I'm gonna give you some tips here and keys situation that you can put it in a positive way. So the most important here is that you know that productivity is when you know what is important and what is urgent in your day. This selection when you wake up is like, okay, what I have many things to do, but the productivity to be productive is to select what is important for me. So important, let's start with urgent. So with urgent is when you need to do it right away, because if you don't do it right away, you have problems, right? But important is when you don't need to do it right away, but if you don't do it, you have a consequence. And for that, I always use when you do the taxes, when you file the taxes, you have like, I think this year changed, but it's usually in April. You know that in April you have to file the taxes, but you postpone. So then if you don't do it, you got a consequence, right? So here is to start deciding yourself in your day, each day, what is important and what is urgent. So for that, this is productivity, but also for being productive, you have to select or to create every day an intention of your day, and after that, what is the goal of your day? And it needs to be a specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timely. I always put, if I don't do Sundays afternoon, I do Mondays. What is gonna be my goal for the week, right? The goal for the month, the goal for the quarter. This is very important because you feel that you accomplished that, right? We have ways to be productive. We have systems, they call that. And I used to have this productivity planner. It's called that. You can check in Amazon. And this is also very related with your personality. You have this system is called task batching. So when you put a bunch of tasks in a period of time, for example, personal administrative things that you need to do, right? And you just related the task because all is administrative, and you put it in a bunch and you do it. The other thing is that sometimes we get stressed, right? With that, if I don't accomplish or I have a deadline. So I recently read an article, and the article said that we have good stress and bad stress. And that's why I included that, because here is key. When you have that, you start taking that stress in a positive way. So sometimes people say that, oh, I'm very good when the deadline approach because I'm productive, and they say, the article said, when you have that stress, you can be more decisive, you can be effective. So when you know yourself, like, okay, in my case, when I am stressful, I have like a pain here. So it makes me, my body makes me an indication. Maybe, maybe you have, I don't know, something that give you that you are stressful, and you take that into advantage, right? This is another recommendation. So the other thing is, and this is, I read many perspectives and many points of view about multitasking. And the recommendation is you focus on one thing at a time. I do multitasking, so that be patient with yourself, right? In some situations, it's better that you do one thing at a time, but also when you do that, start, I say that, congratulate yourself, right? To achieve that, and choose, if you are not gonna do a multitasking, that choose the task that will generate maximum impact, right? This help you a lot. So management strategies. So I already mentioned about the task bank, the task, right? The other one is the Pomodoro. I use that a lot. It works for me. Is that you select, you work, people, it's a different thing, point of view. Sometimes they say that you can work 50 minutes, and then have a break 10 minutes. Others says that it's 25 minutes, and then it's 5 minutes that you break, you have a break. Others say 30 minutes. So which one works for you, right? In my case, it's 50 minutes. I work with that, I put music, I select the assignment or the thing that I need to do. Sometimes you don't finish that in 15 minutes and you take more, but it's very important that breaks, right? At least, I don't know, take water. As now that we have the family at house, that I go to my daughter and say, how is the class? So because you disconnect 10 minutes and go back and finish that the other time to finish the assignments. This is time management strategies that can work. This is the two that I recommend, but also I use. You can combine this with a planner, that is key. Others have a vision board. It depends of your personality. I always say that because you can find many systems and strategies, but which one works for you? And if it doesn't work, don't worry, just create one based on that. This is very important also. So this is very common. We have unforeseen situations that we don't usually plan, but we should plan. For example, in my case, I have like 3 days that I have appointments or virtual meetings, but sometimes I always put in my calendar a day for the unexpected situations. Because if you don't plan, you don't do it. Personal situations that you plan that. At the beginning, I didn't feel like, yeah, it was weird for me that plan that, but then you get used to it, and then, oh, something happened. Yes, I can do that, and I can. Your week, it doesn't make crazy when you plan that unforeseen situations. This is key. Well, as a single parent, manage your time. Is gonna give you control of your life. Also, in the calendar, I recently interviewed a psychology in the Instagram live that we do. We used to do it, and she said that, okay, we plan everything, but also in the calendar that you put you in that calendar. Okay, on Sunday, I gonna, I don't know, do a massage. I gonna do any something fun, go with my friends. That plan this time for yourself. So, and it helps you when you plan to stop procrastinating. And this is, I'm gonna finish with this practical advice, is that also, if the task takes you 2 minutes, do it, because do it right away and you don't start accumulating tasks. This is a rule at my house, and it works very good. So thank you so much for being here. This is my contact information. I encourage to follow my nonprofit. We have programs in business and wellness for moms and children. This is our Instagram, and this is our Facebook, and this is my personal email if you want to contact me directly. Also, I have a workbook for this presentation. If you want the workbook, please email me. And it has been a pleasure to be here. Thank you.